Electricity production in Nigeria reached 8,767 in June 2023 compared with 9,348 gigawatts in the previous quarter. Electricity production data of Nigeria is updated quarterly, averaging at 7,020 from March 2005 to June 2023. And yet, Africa's most populous nation has experienced grid collapse multiple times. Sabotage, vandalism and aging infrastructure have limited the gains of previous government efforts. Currently, only 45% of Nigeria's population is connected to the energy grid, whilst power supply difficulties are experienced around 85% of the time and almost non-existent in certain regions. At best, average daily power supply is estimated at 4 hours, although several days can go by without any power at all. Well, joining me again this morning is Adetayo Adigbimle, Executive Director, Power Up Nigeria. Thank you once again for being here with us.
Good morning once again. It's always a pleasure.
Good. So how will you rate the efforts of the government as a whole? Constructive, or would you say it's a mirage?
Well, I think I am gradually moving away from where I think or I see they have not been doing anything to the position where we're able to balance the conversation a bit. Yes, until an average Nigerian can switch on or switch off their light without having to recourse to anything, they will continue to see it as the government not doing something. But yes, there are projects that are ongoing. There are projects that have been completed, especially I can speak for transmission because I even have the data, all across the country that are going to come on stream, any time from now. Most of them are already being completed, being commissioned gradually, and they're bringing them on board. So I hope and I pray that by the time these projects get fully on board, the quality of power supply to consumers or to end users will improve greatly. But government, they are not sleeping. The private sector too are not sleeping. Everybody is doing. And okay, let me also say this, that for 2023, one of the things that government did was to say, you know what, we can also bring in states to come and participate in the power sector. So that states can generate, transmit, and also distribute, at their own end. It's all in an effort to improve the fate of the power sector.
All right. Well, the current national grid formula seems to be defective. Why are we not possibly trying multiple grids?
That's an interesting question because I am one of those that have been shouting too. I mean, I've always said it. I think countries like Brazil, countries like the US, countries like even India, countries like Mexico, they all operate, different mixture and different grid infrastructure. How will I put it? America has several grids. Mexico has 3. Brazil has about 3 or 4 too. So I mean, it's been done somewhere. So I'm also one of those that say, why don't you let us look at it from that perspective? And I don't know why the government has not done that. Some have also argued that breaking down the national grid will not be efficient or effective, but it is something we are yet to. I believe breaking it down to regions will help people to bring in the funds that they need to improve power supply, per region at the level and at the rate. It also allows people like places like the Southwest, for instance, that is, how will I put it, that has a much higher demand for power compared to some other parts of the country, to also evolve with the resources that they have. So it's a nice idea. We should look at, rejigging our national grid, whether it's to break it down on the regional level, then we can now do a super grid. And that's another thing. ECN, the Energy Commission of Nigeria, part of it's the research arm of the power sector. Energy Commission, the research arm of the power sector. They've also made presentations on doing a super grid over the grid that we have presently, so that it can solve the problem that we are having. But I don't know why the government refused to look at that option. So it is open. We should be able to actually do that.
All right. Finally, metering continues to be an issue in Nigeria. And we do know that the regulatory body is doing all it can to ensure that this would be a story of the past. How well do you think they are doing in this regard?
Oh, well, metering remains a very big challenge. It remains a very big challenge. And like I keep saying, one of the things that we're not considering, one of the issues that, how would I put it, is that the data for the power sector itself is not clean. We can't tell precisely how many consumers are connected to our national grid as we speak. So we can only hazard guesses. And if you don't have that figure, how do you now know exactly what the number of shortfalls we have in metering? So we need to start from that. Then the next layer is, let us meter people. All the systems, all the approach that we have used to try and resolve the metering issue has not worked. Officially, presently, we're having over 5 million, officially, over 5 million people that are metered officially. But another report that came out this morning put it at 7.1 million people that are on estimated billing. So it is an open sector. Now, part of the things we have also fought for, or we have also demanded, advocated for, is that we should have, how would I put it? We should have independent metering service providers so that people can take, if it is on federal level or DT level, can go in there, do 100% metering of such places. Now, part of the argument is liberalize the sector so that investors can come in with their own funds. Then they are absorbed into the sector as investors. So as people are taking their money, presently the present arrangement is that Embed collects the money from discos and share it. Discos will take their own gencos. Then you bring in meter manufacturers in that line, so that as you are taking your tariff, they are taking their money. That is an idea that we're also advocating for. Let us see how the regulators will take it and use it to help Nigeria. But saying that, we have the World Bank funded National Mass Metering Program that was supposed to supply 1.2 million meters that is pending. We pushed at the initial stage that the bid document does not favor Nigerian companies, but they said no, that they are going to go ahead with it. They have gone ahead with it since July. Till we speak right now, we have not had anybody from there. There is a phase 1 NMMP that was supposed to install 4 million meters for Nigerians. Now, for me, this is where I'm going to ask the minister, why is he not taking up that policy, dusting it up? What are the challenges with it? Fix those problems and roll out 4 million meters for Nigerians. If we roll out 4 million meters for Nigerians today, we will, in fact, while it might not solve all the total problem, but it's going to be a very big relief. And that's why I say, even by the time they remove subsidy, it's going to be a relief on people because the meters has been installed. That phase 1 project has been installed. I don't know why CBN pulled back from, completing the 6 million meters that they promised with the National Mass Metering Program, which they only executed the phase 0, which did about 1 million meters. So we have all these kind of things on ground to solve this problem. It is a serious infrastructure investment, and we should treat it as such.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Adetayo Adigbemle.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
And of course, convener Power Up Nigeria. Thank
it's
you
always
for
a
spending your
pleasure.
morning with us.
It's always my pleasure.
Well, let's move.